Hello everyone, this is Dr. Ashok Kumar from Government Women Engineering College Ajmer. In lecture 6 of antenna array series, I am going to discuss about broadside Dolph C by Chief array. The following content will be addressed during lecture 6 of this antenna series. Initially, the introduction about the Dolph C by Chief array, then analysis of Dolph C by chief array and calculation of the amplitude coefficient. Then further we have to investigate the design procedure, or we can say array design procedure, then some problem based on this array, and finally the beamwidth and directivity of dot C by chief array. This book is considered to prepare the contents of this lecture 6. In this section, we address the design of array factor with all the side lobe peaks to a specified level. As we have discussed in the previous lecture about the broadside array and binomial array, and we have discussed some important aspects about the beta, d, and psi, and I mean progressive phase shift, and the array is uniform. But in the case of binomial array, we are considering the non-uniform amplitude but equal spacing. And in this section, we have to analyze the array factor that side lobe peaks to a specified level. This type of array is known C by chief array is also called, and because the array coefficient of this array it can be calculated by C by chief polynomial. So we can say Dolph C by chief uh, array is also called C by chief polynomials because we are calculating array coefficient by using this techniques. Initially, these methods were originated by the Dolph and further investigated by the other researchers, and finally the C by chief polynomial is investigate to calculate the amplitude coefficient or excitation coefficient. Initially, we have to calculate the array factor of this array. Then considering to the equation 54a and 54b. These are the equation 54a and b. These are the equation as we have calculated the array factor for the non-uniform amplitude arrays. For the even number of elements, for the odd number of elements we are calculating, and this is very important equation that we are using to calculate the amplitude coefficient of Dolph C by chief arrays. And you should keep in mind these are the 54a, 54b and 54c equations. So the array factor of an array of even and odd number of elements with symmetric amplitude excitation is nothing more than the summation of m or m plus 1 cosine terms. So the largest harmonics of the cosine term is 1 less than the total number of the elements of the array. So we can say in the Dolph C by chief array, the length of the array, the number of elements in an array m is equal to total number of elements n minus 1. N is the capital. So each cosine term whose argument is an integer times a fundamental frequency can be written as the series of cosine function with the fundamental frequency. As you can see, u is dependent on the frequency, I mean u factor directly proportional to f, and this array factor can be calculated for different values of small m. 0 to 9 we are taking, and the factor cos mu we have to represent it by 1. Then further cos mu is equal to cos u, and then further cos mu m we are putting the different values of m, in that case cos 2u, and this is the trigonometry identity we can solve by twice of cos square u minus 1. Similarly, m is equal to 3, we are putting cos 3u which equal to 4 cos cube u minus 3 cos u. So we can calculate the value m is equal to 0 to 9, the array factor calculation can be done by using this trigonometry identities. So here we are taking m is equal to 9, then m is equal to 9 equation becomes in this form. So the 59 equation is very important for calculating the problem based on the Dolph C by Chief array. The above calculation can be obtained by using Euler formula, and this is represented by the Euler formula, and which is equal to cos mu plus j sin mu, or we can say e to the power j mu. And we are considering one more identity, trigonometry identity, which is equal to sin square u is equal to 1 minus cos square u. So assume that cos of u equal to z. So you can say this cos of u equal to z, and cos square u is equal to z square, cos cube u is equal to z cube minus 3 of z. So we can put the value of z is equal to cos u, then we will get the equation 59 in this form. M is equal to 0 to m is equal to 9, and cos mu equal to 1, which is equal to, we have to represent it by T naught of z. This is represented by T1 z and equal to T2 z, where 0 1 2 3 and so on 2 up to 9 or more, we have to represent the number of elements m, and each is related to the C by Chief polynomial, or sometimes we are saying is C by Chief polynomial T of m of z, where we are taking m is equal to 0 to 0 1 2 to small m. And this relation of equation 62 lies between the cosine function, and the polynomials are valid only if this range lies between -1 to +1. This is the important when we are drawing the Dolph C by Chief array with respect to amplitude versus z. So cos mu less than equal to 1. So each C by Chief polynomial is Tm of z less than equal to 1 for -1 to +1. If z polynomial mode of z greater than 1, then C by Chief polynomials are related to the hyperbolic cosine function. This is another important relation, and these two important analysis we have to summarize for the mth degree polynomial, and that we can represent Tm of z for -1 to 1 and Tm of z for z ka mode less greater than 1, or we can say z less than -1 and z plus 1, z greater than +1. And here you can solve the cos hyperbolic function, inverse cos hyperbolic function, by using this trigonometric identity, which is equal to ln y plus minus y square minus 1 की power 1 by 2. So we can calculate the recursive formula for the C by Chief polynomial, and this is represented T of m z equal to twice of z Tm minus 1 z minus Tm minus 2 of z. This is the important polynomial of this array, and this array can be computed the C by Chief polynomial of higher degree if the T naught z and T1 z are the known. In that case, we can use for the further polynomials, I mean m is equal to 2, 3, 4 and so on. So by putting these value, and the T naught z and T1 z are the known, in that case we are using this recursive formula for the C by Chief polynomial. The C by Chief polynomial for m is equal to 2, 3 and 4 can be plotted in figure, and this is the figure. Here we have to plotted the amplitude versus z function, and for the degree 2, 3 and 4, T2z, T3z and T4z. Here you can see the values of T2z lies within the range of -1 to +1. As you can see, this is +1 and this is -1, and again you can see this is +1 and this is -1. So this value lies in -1 to +1 range. Similarly, T3z, T3z is also lies between -1 to +1, and T4z is also lies between -1 to +1, as you can see with the solid line. And the important aspect is here you can see within the range of -1 to +1 the polynomial have values between -1 to 1. And the third important thing that we have observed from this figure, all roots occurs within -1 to +1. I mean the maxima and minima has values of +1 or -1. As you can see, this is the maxima, it is equal to +1. This is minima, as you can see, it is the -1. As you can see, T2z, this is minima, and similarly T3z, you can say this is maxima and this is minima. This is the one sine function, and here 1.5 sine function, or we can say. So you can see the values of all polynomial of any order 3, 4, 5 and so on pass through the point 1 of 1. As you can see, this is important analysis. So the order of C by C polynomials always is 1 less than the total number of elements. As you can see, suppose n is equal to 10 number of elements, in that case the polynomial order small of m equal to n minus 1, which is equal to 10 minus 1 equal to 9. So we can say the polynomial order can be calculated by using n minus 1 factor. And for n is equal to 10 elements, the polynomial factor 9. So we can calculate the value of m is equal to 9. This expression T9 of z we can use to solve the problem if the number of elements n is equal to 10 is given. And then further we have to analyze the array design procedure that can be used to design the Dolph C by Chief array. The statement of this array is design a broadside Dolph C by Chief array of 2m or 2m plus 1 element. As we can see, this is even and this is odd number of elements with is having the spacing d between elements. The side lobe levels are represented R0 dB or SLL dB as below the maximum of the major lobe. Find the excitation coefficient and form factor of the array factor. So you can see this is the problem stand, and this type of problem you can see. And then after, how we can solve this type of statement or this type of Dolph C by Chief array. So we are using some important steps that can be used. So in step 1, select the appropriate array factor as we have defined the even and odd number of elements by using equation 54a and 54b, as we have discussed uh, in this lecture previously. And then we have to expand this array factor and replace cos mu function. M is equal to 0, 1, 2. We are putting different values of m according to array by appropriate series expansion method as found in equation 59. And this is the equation 59. So by using this analysis, this is the series expansion method. For suppose m is equal to 9, then we get cos 9u we can expand by using this series expansion method, and then after putting z is equal to cos of u. So in step 3 we have to determine the point z is equal to z0 such that Tm of z is equal to R0 is equal to voltage ratio using this equation. The design procedure requires that the C by C polynomial lies between -1 to z1, where z1 is the null nearest to z is equal to +1. So we can say -1 to +1 range this value exists. It is used to represent the minor lobes of the array. The major lobe of the pattern is formed from the remaining part of the polynomial and with at z is equal to z0, and z1 to z0 lies, and the order of the polynomial can be calculated by using small m, which is equal to n minus 1. And in some textbooks it is also represented by capital of P, and capital of P we can calculate the polynomial order. And R naught, absolute value of R naught, or we can say SLL, we can calculate by using this expression 10 SLL dB divided by 20. The other method or way to calculate the equal to z naught, I mean z naught, we can use this expression also to calculate the value of z naught. So first method, Tm of z naught equal to r naught, this expression you can use, and another method is the simple dependent on the r naught. So we can say it's the cos hyperbolic function. This is the simple expansion. In step 4, we are going to substitute cos u is equal to z upon z naught in the array factor in step 2. As we have expanded the array factor, in that case we have to replace cos u is equal to z upon z naught in the array factor, and this would be valid for z mod less than or equal to z0 naught. At z is equal to z naught, the equation attains its maximum value of unity. As you can see, the equation 66 attains its maximum value at z is equal to z naught. In step 5, equate the array factor from step 2 after substitution of equation 66. I mean this step 2 and the value calculated in equation 66 to form Tm of z from equation 62. The Tm of z chosen would be the order of m, where m is an integer equal to 1 less the total number of array of the designated array. As you can see, p or m equal to n minus 1. This will allow us to determine the excitation coefficient A of ns. In step 6, write the array factor of equation 54a or 54b using the coefficient found in step 5. We have calculated the coefficient value from the step 5, and this coefficient value we are putting in equation 54a or 54b, and as we have discussed previously, this is 54a and 54b. This is the important, and in which we are putting the values of these array coefficient values. In that case we can get the polynomial or array factor, or other method, put the values of excitation coefficient an found in step 5. In this step we have to calculate the excitation coefficient and then expand the array in step 2, as we have to this expanded array. In this we can also put the values, then after we will get the array factor. So this is the 6-step design procedure that can be used to determine or compute the array excitation coefficient A of ns and array factor A of m for the order of small m. This problem we are taking to understand the design procedure of 12C by chip array. In this problem, the number of elements n is equal to 10 and r naught major to minor side lobe ratio. We can also say it's a SLL, or we can represent it by r naught, which is equal to 26 dB, and we need to calculate the excitation coefficient and array factor of this problem. So by using step 1, using equation this one, first we need to calculate number of elements n is equal to 10, and which is the even, so we are putting equal to twice of m, so m is equal to 5 we are calculated. Then we, in the equation of 54a, a of f twice of m, I n is equal to 1 to m is equal to 5, as calculated value m is equal to 5 putting, and where u is equal to pi d upon lambda cos theta. And further we have to expand this array factor. Array factor of 10 is equal to, by using this expression, then we will get cos u, cos 3u, 5, 7 and 9u, and we have to replace cos u this by the series expansion in terms of, as you can see, this cos u twice of u, and by putting these values in terms of z we can put in this equation. Then further we have to calculate the absolute value of SLL, which is equal to R naught and can be called as the voltage ratio, equal to 10 SLL by dV upon 20, 10 26 by 20, which is equal to 20. So polynomial order 9, so T9 of Z equal to R naught. So this is the third step procedure, and using equation 63b you can see T9 of Z naught equal to cos hyperbolic 9 cos hyperbolic inverse z naught, as we have seen the two methods to calculate the value of z naught, and which is equal to 1.0851, The other method is Z naught. We can calculate by using R naught and order of the polynomial p. Then we can also calculate the value which is equal to 1.0851. And step 4, using equation 66, I mean cos u equal to z upon z naught, and z, and we are putting the value of z naught in the array factor found in step 2. In this step, this array factor, then we can put this expression, then equate the array factor of step 2 after the substitution from step 4 to t9 of z using equation 62. The polynomial of t9 of z can be plotted, and this is the plot of the C by C polynomial of order 9 amplitude and magnitude. Here you can see uh, this is the amplitude and along the Z, and the array factor we have to calculate it when we are putting T9 of Z equation, and we found this expression for the array factor, and this array factor expression we are match with the T9 of Z, and then after we are equating to determine the array coefficient. So we can calculate the array coefficient a5, a4, a3, a2 and a1, and we can also calculate the normalized array coefficient a of n by using this one. So we are dividing 2.0860 value with its magnitude value, then after we will get 1 and so on. The other way is the reverse. So left side is the normalized with respect to amplitude of the elements, while the other right side, I mean this, with the respect to the amplitude of the center element. So you can see here the as the age we are considering, this is the age and this is the center. So we are considering at the age of the normalized coefficient, then after we can calculate the array factor which is equal to this one, where u is equal to pi d upon lambda. So this is the systematic approach through which we can design the C by C polynomial array. And here we are taking one example of this problem. N is equal to 10 number of elements, and this array is the broad side, and here you can see for the different value of spacing, d is equal to lambda by 4 and lambda by 2. As you can see, d is equal to lambda by 4, the pattern has the maxima at 90 degree, as you can see, but also has some minima, we can say side lobes, as you can see in this figure. But at d is equal to lambda by 2, it is represented by the maxima with the red and minima is with the blue by using rainbow. And here you can see the maxima we are getting at 90 degree, and the minima at theta naught, theta is equal to 0 degree equal to 0, as you can see in this figure. So we can say the beam width of the C by C polynomial is reduced, as you can see when we are taking the half number of power points, but in the case of d is equal to lambda by 4, it having the beam width large. So we can say by using C by polynomial arrays, I mean Dolph C by chief array, the beam width is reduced in a certain aspects as respect to the normal radiation or with respect to the side lobe level SLL. There is another method through which we can design the Dolph C by chief array, and the same problem we are taking, or we can say the same procedure, where number of elements equal to n and side lobe level SL or R0 is dB given. In that case we are using some steps, and these are the 7-step procedure. First we need to calculate the absolute value of R0 from the SLL dB or R0 dB using by this expression, as we have discussed R0 voltage ratio equal to 10 SLL dB divided by 20. Choose the order of the polynomial, as we have discussed time is equal to n minus 1. In step 3, that we can calculate the value of Z0 by equating Tm of Z0 is equal to R0. Since R0 greater than 1, Z0 will be greater than unity, so we can use equation 63b, and this is the 63b equation, as you can see here. This is greater than 1, so we are using this expression Tm of Z equal to this. By using this expression, we can calculate the value of Z naught, and and value of Z naught equal to cos hyperbolic 1 by m cos hyperbolic inverse R naught. VR here represent is the voltage ratio, absolute value we are putting. Then after we can calculate the value of Z naught. In the step 4, we need to calculate the number of zeros in a polynomial by using this expression. Z of I is the number of zeros equal to cos 2i minus 1 into pi by 2 upon twice of m, where I is equal to 1, 2, 3 to m. Then further we need to compute the location of zeros, where location of zero means where the null is occurs. We can calculate by using this psi of I function, which is equal to cos twice of cos inverse zi upon z naught. So we are putting the value of zi from the equation 70 and z naught from the equation 69. For the different values of I is equal to 1, 2, 3 to m, then we calculate the location of zeros, or we can say location of the nulls by using psi of I. And then finally we can form the array factor by using this. Array factor is equal to, this is the multiplication operator, I equal to 1 to small m z minus e की power j psi I. So we are taking the psi of I value from this, and this is the multiplication of operator for different values of I equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on. Suppose m is equal to 3, in that case we are taking 1, 2, 3, so we are having 3 multiplication. Then we have to expand this series, then we will get the excitation coefficient of A of ns, where z is equal to e की power j psi si is equal to kd cos theta plus beta can be calculated by using this expression, as we have discussed in lecture 2 of this antenna series. Then further multiply the factor and arrange the terms in increasing power of z, as we have to increase in the power of z. The coefficient of the series expansion method of excitation coefficient an of x array factor is equal to 1 plus a1 z plus a2 z plus and so on an minus 1 z की power n minus 1. So this is the array factor through which we can calculate the array coefficient. So this is the 7-step procedure, and this is the alternative method to design a 3 by 3 polynomial. We are taking one problem based on where the number of elements n is equal to 4 is given, and array is the broadside array, and this broadside array is isotropically spaced with d is equal to lambda by 2, and the side lobe level given is 25 dB below the main lobe. So we need to calculate the excitation coefficient and array factor. So by using step 1 R naught voltage ratio we need to calculate. Then after number order of the polynomial m we can calculate, which is equal to 3. Then z naught is equal to cos hyperbolic 1 by m cos hyperbolic inverse R naught. We are represent the voltage ratio as using step 3. Then we are getting this value, and using step 4 we can calculate the value of z1 z2 and z3. Using step 5 we are calculating the value of psi of I by using this expression, and the psi of I we have to calculate it these three values psi 1 psi 2 and psi 3. And by using step 6 a of f we have to calculate, which is the multiplication operator, and we are getting m is equal to 3, so we are getting 3 multiplication array, or we can say multiplication factor, which is z minus e की power j psi. And in step 7 we can calculate the array factor, and this array factor we have to in represent, as you can see, this is the we have to arrange in the increasing power of z. Then after we will get the array coefficient, which is this. Then further we have to calculate the half power beamwidth. They compute the half power beamwidth of Dolph Chebyshев array. First we need to calculate the beam broadening factor f. F can be calculated by using this expression. R naught we have known, and then R naught is the main side lobe SLL we have to discuss earlier. The half power beamwidth of the uniform array theta of h is equal to this expression. By using this expression we have to calculate theta of h. Then we have to multiply the broadening factor and theta of h. In that case we can calculate the beamwidth of Dolph Chebyshef array, and which is equal to theta of h into F. F is the pulse broadening factor or beam broadening factor. And the last parameter is the directivity. Directivity is dependent on the pulse broadening factor, as we have discussed in the previous slide. This directivity can be calculated between -20 to -60 range, and by using this expression, d naught is equal to twice r naught square upon 1 minus r naught square minus 1 into f. F is here the pulse broadening factor, lambda upon L plus d. So by using this expression, we can calculate the directivity of dot C by Chief array, and we have to draw for the different values -20 to -60 dB the pulse broadening factor as well as the directivity in this figure. As you can see here, the directivity side lobe level lies between 15 to around 60, and the value is linearly increases when the beam factor is also increases when side lobe level increases. As you can see, this is the directivity analysis. Here this is the plot uh, L plus D array length versus the directivity. As you can see from this figure, through important conclusion, and this is conclusion is the with the given side lobe level increases as the array size or number of elements. So you can see directivity increases as the array size or number of elements increases or side lobe level increases. As you can see from this figure, if side lobe level increases and plus broadening factor increases, in that case the directivity is increases. The other important conclusion, for a given array length or given number of elements in the array, the directivity does not necessarily increase at the side lobe level, decreases. The, this this analysis can be seen. A 15 dB side lobe array has the smaller directivity than a -20 dB side lobe array. As you can see, here 15 dB and this is a 20 dB. Then for the -15 dB, it has the value of directivity is less as compared to 20 dB. So directivity is increases, and these two problems is to test yourself, and this is based on the design approaches that we have discussed. This is the first design approach through which we can calculate, and this is by using the second design approach this problem can be solved. So these are the two problems to test yourself. Thank you everyone for watching this lecture, and I hope this lecture is beneficial for you. Thank you.